Hi there, this is David and welcome back to Let's Play Legend Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2. Last time, we cleared out the first stratum, and now we're headed on the elevator to the second stratum. Unfortunately, we kind of had to get rescued to leave the first stratum. Oliver and Toval came to our rescue. It would be nice if we could, rescue ourselves, but this is a Legend of Heroes games, and, you're always getting rescued in these games. Huh. So here we are in the second stratum. I wonder how many stratums there are. Well, if there's 2 bosses per stratum, it shouldn't be that many. Oh, what do you mean, Eustace? Oh, we know that. The label just told us that. Purgatory's Great Tree. I wonder if that has something to do with Crossbell's tree. Probably not, but, you never know. Okay, yeah. Okay, so off we go. This place is very straightforward, but the first thing that you actually want to do is go over here to this warp point and warp to the end of the previous stratum where we took out Duvali and, oh, who was helping her? I don't even remember the guy's name. Oh, Blue Blanc, that's right. Yeah, so head on over here, and mysteriously, they've already vanished, even though, they were having a fight to the death just like a minute or 2 ago? Oh. Did they, move their fight to somewhere else? That's kind of odd. But the real reason why we're here is not to go and rescue anybody. It's to head over here, and for doing so, you get a Zemurian ore shard. And whenever you get 4 of those, you are able to forge yet another ultimate weapon. So, yeah, pretty nice. Anyway, let's head on back to the warp point and start moving through the second stratum. And just like the first stratum, you're going to be going around on a relatively linear path, hitting switches to open up doors and to remove obstacles, and getting various treasures. I mean, there's not really much else to say. So, yeah, I'm going to have Eustace in the lead just to kind of switch things up. Rather than always having Reen in the lead, I figured, why not? We haven't really seen a lot of Eustace, so it's nice to have a little change. Let's see. Lots of new monsters in here, though, and I'm going to be fighting all of them, because there's, all over the place. Ooh, triple advantage. Nice! Probably take him out, in one hit with a bullet cyclone. Oh, almost. Well, we got one of them down. I guess the other guys can go down with an autumn leaf cutter. Yeah. Pretty simple, pretty easy.
The power of the 8 leaves.
Most of the monsters in here are actually pretty simple and easy. So, considering that, there's not really a lot to say, and it's kind of a long dungeon, the thing that I actually want to talk about that I haven't spoken about yet
Nasty. Try to be careful, everyone.
is, I just got back from my long vacation. It was 21-day vacation. It was insane. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. We went to Venice. We spent a couple days there. It was gorgeous. I loved Venice. I've never been there before. I have been to Rome. I've been to Italy before. I've been to Naples. But Venice was a new experience. It was just really pretty. It kind of was rainy, though, so that kind of sucks. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. I really enjoyed it. Got a lot of stuff. Went to St. Mark's Cathedral. This gorgeous, gold and gilded cathedral that was built hundreds of years ago with mosaics and everything. It was really pretty. Went to the top floor of that, and you can get a whole view of the island that we were on. There's multiple islands in Venice. I mean, who knew? But, yeah, that was really nice. And then from Venice, we boarded our ship, and we sailed over to Athens. And I've been to Athens before. I'll just let them, talk.
Not bad.
I've been to Athens before, so we didn't go on any kind of excursions or anything like that while we were there. We just pretty much took a bus ticket, and we went to the Acropolis, and we saw that. Some other temples and things like that, but it was, again, rainy and cold. It was probably 35 to 40 degrees outside. It was pretty miserable, and then we had to wait an hour or 2 to get our returning bus back to the port, which really kind of sucked. But anyway, it's not like I really missed anything, considering I've been to Athens before. So, yeah. Let's see, where did we go after Athens? Oh yeah, that's right. We went down to Israel. It took a couple days at sea. I think it was like maybe 3 days at sea to get down to Israel. And our first excursion that we went to was Nazareth and Galilee, which was really nice. It was very pretty. And then the next day we went to Jerusalem, the old city of Jerusalem. We saw the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. We saw the Wailing Wall. We saw the Dome of the Rock. Lots of cool stuff. Speaking of cool stuff, we just got some shoes here. The Sirius boots, like Sirius Black? No. Raises his strength. Yeah, I'll go ahead and give it to Reen, but they're men only, so yeah, give the Strega Omegas to Eustace, I guess. It raises his speed a bit, so why not? Yeah, but Israel was really nice, but again, it was cold and rainy. I mean, it's like December, you know, what do you expect? I wouldn't think that it would be so rainy. Like in Israel, it's a desert. But, yeah, it was pretty miserable. Like, the winds were terrible. It wrecked my umbrella. There was really no place to kind of get out of the wind and the rain. So, again, it was kind of a miserable experience. But, yeah, I'm glad that I went. After that, we had 5 days at sea, where we went down through the Suez Canal, which was kind of interesting. You know, you would think that, I'll wait for them. Okay, there we go. You would think that the canal would just be like one big dredged channel, but there was actually 2 canals. One canal with all the ships heading north, and another canal with all the ships heading south, and then pretty much like dunes of sand separating the 2 canals from each other. It was interesting to go through. Lots of like monuments built on the side of the on the sides of the canals. A lot of mosques. A lot of fishermen out there, and they were kind of waving to you as you went by. It was really nice. And you know, considering it is in the Middle East, and the water's very shallow because it's a canal, there was a lot of jellyfish in the Suez Canal, which was interesting to me as well. Okay, I like to wait until they're done talking, even though I pretty much talk over them all the time, but I'm trying my best not to talk over them. So yeah, we had a lot of days at sea through the Suez Canal. It's kind of a slow process to go through there. But then our next stop was Oman, which I didn't think I would like Oman, because, you know, you kind of think, what's there to do there? And it's kind of a repressive country. But it was like my favorite part. It was really, really good. We went on a full-day tour of Salalah, that's the name of the port that we were at, and we had a female tour guide. And she was the only woman tour guide out of, like, there was like 20-something tour guides on these various buses and everything. She was the only one who was a woman, and she was hysterical, I've got to say. She was talking about talking about her husband, talking about polygamy. Apparently it's legal to be married to multiple wives there, who knew? But she was really fun. I loved her. She was great. And we went and we saw these blowholes, which apparently there's these rock formations there, and as the Indian Ocean or the Arabian Sea hits these various rock formations, it goes into the rocks, into the limestone, and it shoots upwards. It was really cool. Oh, let's see, we saw the Sultan's Palace, we saw various other mosques. We saw, what else did we do in Oman? Oh, there was like shepherds off the side of the road with their camels and everything, and we got out of the bus and we got to see all the camels like really up close and personal. It was really, really cool. We had traditional Omani food. There was a surprising amount of stuff to do there, considering it is, you know, such a very poor country. It really wasn't until like 1979 that they actually, you know, opened up schools for their people. So they're just now starting to get doctors and lawyers and engineers and people like that who can like really build up their country. So it was nice to see some unspoiled beauty there. Anyway, here at this Monster's Chest we get the Brahma gem. Go ahead and check that out real quick. Yeah, I know. I have to actually talk about the game. I mean, it is a Let's Play. Oh, it raises your art attack power by 80. That would be good for Emma or Elliot, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So let's continue on our way. And our last stop after Oman was Dubai. And that was really cool. We were there for 3 days. We were there for 3 days, and we saw a lot of stuff. There was these souks, which are essentially like a bazaar, and there was tons of them. We took a hop-on, hop-off bus around the city to see all sorts of different sites. We went to the Palm Islands. We saw the little islands of the world where they like dredged all this sand and created like world islands out in their bay. That was pretty neat. We went to the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world, and we took pictures, and you could see, you know, all of Dubai. It was really neat. We saw the Dubai fountains, which are pretty much like the Bellagio fountains here in Las Vegas, except at a much grander scale. They're huge! It was really cool to see those. And we went to the Mall of Dubai, which is, without a doubt, the biggest mall I have ever been to in my entire life. It's 4 stories tall. It's probably like if you take your local mall, I've been to many malls, I shop all the time, so if you take like your local suburban mall and you times it by about 10, that's 1 floor. I had a pedometer on my telephone, and we walked around that mall. It was over 6 miles walking around that mall. It's insane. And speaking of insane, as you go from the first floor, things are pretty, you know, cheap on the first floor, and then you get to like the top floor, the 4th floor, and you're talking like $1 million necklaces and rings and stuff. It was unbelievable, the things that they sold there. It was just like breathtaking. I've never seen so many expensive things in my life, with like diamonds and jewels and these rubies. It was unfreaking believable. It was very interesting to see how their cultures differed from our culture. The only other Muslim country that I've been to was Egypt, which was fascinating. We went there in 2009. I think we saw the pyramids and everything. It was really cool, but Dubai was just different. Anyway, over here there's a switch, and there's a little emblem on it for thrusting, so I need to figure out who has at least a B rank in thrust. Let's see, not him. No. Yeah, we could take Fee. So you gotta change your party leader over to Fee, and I guess you can't hit it from there. Maybe there's another spot. Hey, there we go. So by doing that, that opens up a little optional area in order to get a treasure chest. So let's head on down there. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. It was just really cool. I love seeing, you know, the way that people live differently in other parts of the world. It was just like such an awesome experience. So I'm so glad that I went. It took a long time, and I'm still kind of jet lagged from it, which really sucks. The day that flying back, it was a 16-hour flight from Dubai back to LA, and then we had to take, you know, a connecting flight from LA to Vegas. So all told, between the flights and the delays and getting up and all this, blah blah blah, it took hours for us to get back home. And I was awake. I couldn't sleep on the plane. It was awful. We took Emirates Airline, which is actually very nice. I can't say one bad thing about the airline, but I just can't sleep on a plane. I mean, that's just me. There was no fault of theirs as to why I couldn't sleep. So my sleep cycle is totally screwed up. We came home and we, you know, stopped at Wendy's, grabbed some food, and by about 6 o'clock at night, because we got home I think around 4, so at 6 o'clock at night, I went to bed, and I slept till about 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I couldn't fall back asleep. Then, it's just my sleep cycle is just screwy right now, so it kind of sucks, but I'm trying my hardest to get it back onto, you know, some kind of normal schedule. Normally I go to sleep at around 10, and I wake up around, I don't know, 7, 8, something like that in the morning. But anyway, here we are at the end of the stratum.
We've reached the end of the 2nd stratum.
What is that?
And let me just rest up, and you're going to want to make sure that you have Fee in your party. She is mandatory for this next part. You're also going to want, just for some dialogue changes, Elisa and Milliam in your party as well. Oh, yeah, we've kind of seen that before. Isn't it the Zephyr symbol? Oh. Okay. Yeah, well, that's why I rested at the little orbit station. So, let's head on inside, make sure that your party's all healed up and you're ready to go, because, as usual, we have boss time in here. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute.
Wow, talk about quick.
You've been advancing the castle at an impressive rate.
I suspected as much.
Fee.
I knew it was you two. I thought you were busy over in the west.
We were, but Duke Cayenne called us back here yesterday.
Fortunate, as that allows us this chance to settle things with you.
True.
You okay, Fee?
Don't worry about me. I've got no more hesitations. I want to know what happened a year ago. Why you all left me behind after the boss died. Where the others are. What they're doing now. I've wanted those answers for a long time. And today, I want you to give me them.
Well, I don't think it'd hurt to tell her something. She's made it this far. She deserves a reward, don't you think?
Perhaps so. The reason we left you behind was because that was the boss's will.
His will?
Before he went to settle things with the Red Constellation's war god, he gave us a message. He told us, if he died in that battle, we should get you out of the core once and for all.
As you may be aware, the boss was opposed to you being an active part of the Corps from the start. I imagine he thought it was a good time to stop you from remaining a part of it any longer.
He'd also figured out that the guild got wind of his duel, so he told us to try and make sure the Purple Lightning would find you and take you in.
It's hard to believe we're talking about the leader of a major Jaeger Corps here.
He fits the profile on his file, all right. Well, more like it doesn't even do him justice.
He's a man worthy of his title for bearing so much concern for his subordinates.
Boy, did I get played. Never guessed all that was his plan when I took her under my wing. He always was the clever sort.
As for the other question, the one about where the others are and what they're doing,
That we can't answer. Surely that comes as no surprise. You're no longer part of the Corps. Outsiders have no business being kept abreast of our internal affairs.
still, if you really want to know, you could always beat it out of us. That's how us Jaegers do business, right?
Back before I joined Class 7, I always had to rely on others to protect me. When I was left wandering battlefields with nowhere to go, I only survived because the boss cared for me. When I fought battle after battle for the Corps, I only lived to see another day because of the things you two taught me. And when you left me behind, I only got by because Sarah rescued me. One misstep was all it would have taken for me to lose my way. But ever since enrolling at the academy, I've finally been able to work towards changing that. Now I'm no longer completely reliant on others. I can stand on my own 2 feet. I've become someone capable of protecting the family I treasure, instead of hopelessly being protected by them. And I was able to prove that too. Because when I was separated from everyone this time, I was able to fight to take them, and everything else I lost, back again.
Fee.
You sure did. I'm not the girl you knew anymore. I'm no longer a child who can't do anything alone, who can't decide anything for herself. It doesn't matter if it's the academy or the Corps. If it's to protect what I care about, I'll strive every day to get stronger and stronger. Not because becoming stronger to earn what you want is the way of a Jaeger, but because it's my way as an individual.
And don't you forget it!
Well said, Fee.
Well, I'll be. Hard to believe how much that little pipsqueak from back then's grown.
The boss seems to have got his wish, although I doubt even he foresaw how far you would come.
What terrifying battle auras.
So, what do you say? Show us you can flap with your own wings instead of just being coddled in the nest.
As for the rest of you, you can show us whether you have the strength to surpass us and step farther inside.
Gladly.
Commencing hostilities. Let's take him out. Understood.
For boss time against these guys, but they're actually really easy.
Come on, then.
Let's see exactly what you got.
As long as you don't kind of wait around just to see their S-crafts, what I'm gonna do about their S-crafts, I'm gonna kill them really quick. Actually, I'm just gonna like slaughter these guys because they're ridiculously easy. But their S-crafts, I'm gonna put into the end slate so you are able to see them. But yeah, I'm not gonna show them off like in the battle themselves.
Now this is getting interesting.
That was something.
If you're having difficulty, I would recommend going after Zeno first, killing him. Make sure that you use Noble Command. You may want to use Eustace's Platinum Shield to nullify attacks. Use your S-crafts wisely, and heal. I mean, there's really not much more to say killing these guys because they're just a joke. I mean, look at that. He completely missed them, dealt no damage to them, and Zeno's little javelin spikes you can just take care of with an S-craft. You'll be perfectly fine. It's really, simple. And they're susceptible to delaying tactics, so yeah, it's not hard at all.
Very well.
I mean, hell, we can probably just kill this guy with just regular physical hits.
Let's move.
I mean, Laura's S-craft did like 100,000 damage to him, and they only have about, I don't know, 250,000 HP? So, yeah, not that hard at all. Just use a little bit more strategy, maybe your overdrives if you're having some problems with them. Like, don't forget that they exist, because that's my thing. I forget that overdrives exist. Ooh! Oh, mastered that quartz. Awesome! Hey, sweet! And level ups all across the board.
Not bad. Done.
That should suffice.
Look at me go! I'm so...
They're not known as some of the strongest Jaegers around for nothing.
What incredible power!
We may be enemies, but I can't help but be filled with admiration.
I can see why their threat level's down as level 5 now.
Who'd have thought that a bunch of kids would be able to corner us like this?
This could be quite an enjoyable battle after all.
What?
Black battle auras.
We can answer your question from earlier, but I'm afraid our contract forbids us from letting you go any farther.
We've got our pride as a Jaeger Corps, you know. So long as we live, you ain't taking a single step past us.
War cry?
Ugh, I knew they were strong, but not this strong.
I don't think I have a choice here.
We made it just in time.
Shall we go on the offensive?
What?
Wait, huh?
The hell?
Sharon? Claire, you're here!
Oh, look, it's my two favorite people.
It's so wonderful to see you again.
I'm pleased to see everyone as well. It took some time to catch up to you.
Haha! Well, look who decided to show up.
The Severing Chains and the Icy Maiden. We couldn't pray to the goddess for two people more worthy of our time.
We'll handle them! Keep going!
Leave everything to us.
Thank you.
We appreciate your support.
I'm sure you two will hold your own just fine.
Can't say I ever wanted to end up indebted to either of you, but I owe you guys a beer.
Just be careful, okay?
The same to you, my lady.
See you, Claire!
Stay sharp, William.
V! The others in the Corps are doing just fine. They're acting separately from us right now, to bring back the boss.
What?
What?
Go onward. The next foe you face is the strongest of all. Don't let your guard down for even a second.
And with that, I'll see you guys next time for the third stratum, and stick around for the end slate. Have a good day.
Here I go.
You'll do.
I ain't done yet. But you'll be Genocide Ray!
Here I go. Fly! Here's where the real Calamity on!
I wasn't even paying attention.